The Edmonton Oilers are one win away from returning to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since 2006.
You are Locked On Oilers, your daily podcast on the Edmonton Oilers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's weekend edition of Locked On Oilers. I am your host, Nick Zararis. It's a good feeling, isn't it? That was emphatic. I said the way the Oilers won game number 4 proved they had the guts and they had the intangibles and obviously the talent. The talent's never been in dispute. They had the requisite gumption to get through a difficult situation. And now, not only did they get through that difficult situation, they built on top of that and started to play even better. The Oilers thoroughly controlled play last night, got out to a nice, comfortable lead, and never really gave the Stars a whole lot. And I think the most encouraging thing, if you're an Oilers fan, the simple fact that they have played elite defense. And I know Dallas doesn't have the high-end talent that Edmonton, Florida, the Rangers, but that's not their formula. Dallas's formula is that over the course of a game, because they have Hintz and Robertson and Johnston and Stankoven and Duchesne and Sagan and Ben and Pavelski, 8 guys right there. After those 8 guys, they still have depth. They still got guys like Dadonov who can hurt you. But the Oilers have played really good defense. And last night, Stuart Skinner was great. I have been very, very... I don't know what the word I want to use to describe it. I would say I've been a little harsh on Stuart Skinner at points in these playoffs because he's been the weak link. And when everything else is working and it's the goaltending that's letting you down, it's very frustrating. And it's very easy to channel all that anger and frustration into one guy when it's actually one guy, It's not like the Rangers situation where they have like 4 or 5 guys who are all deserving a little blame. The Oilers are here. And when they needed Stuart Skinner to make himself good, make himself available, make some plays, he helped them put that game away. And you heard me talk about this with Joey going into game number 5. The Oilers, when they have a lead, are very different than when they're a team that's chasing a lead. When they have a lead, they can wear other teams down, and that's where Edmonton can strike. When they have you pinching defensemen up in your defensive zone. So when Edmonton's playing defense, when their defensemen, when the Stars defensemen have to start creeping inward to try and keep the puck in to maintain zone time because they're chasing a lead, that's where Edmonton can get off to the races and start springing guys and sending guys in deep to make plays happen. And it's been very impressive to watch the Oilers break down what's a strong defensive team. Dallas has a really good defensive group, and Jake Ottinger's a really good goaltender, but the Oilers, it doesn't matter. And on top of that, the Oilers have the best special teams in the league right now. Between their kill and their power play, they are dominating the game, and it's really a treat this time of year when you have a team show up, it's a treat this time of year when you have your favorite team show up, ready for the moment. Not that they win, they just don't give the other team a chance. And I know anything can happen in hockey, as we've seen in this series. No lead, no deficit. No lead is safe, no deficit insurmountable. But it really didn't feel like Dallas was going to be able to make something happen last night unless something weird happened, which it didn't. The Oilers showed up. They played really good defense. Stuart Skinner made a bunch of nice saves. They got out to a nice lead, and they put the game away. Slowly but surely put the game away. And now you got a chance to close it out on home ice Sunday night, or you got game 7 in the chamber too if you need it. I said with Joey when we did the crossover edition on yesterday's show, and I said with Hunter on Thursday on the Power Ranking show, the Stars are absolutely capable of winning 2 straight games in this series to win game 6 and 7 and win the series. The key for the Oilers is to not let the moment get the best of you. And so far in these playoffs, when there has been that key moment, The Oilers have met that moment. They were down 3-2 against Vancouver, and they found a way. They had blown game number 3. They were behind big in game number 4. They came back. They won. They win game number 5 in convincing fashion, where now the pressure's on Dallas. And you saw that. As that game went along for Dallas, they started throwing those pucks from the point that aren't particularly dangerous at the net because they're starting to get frustrated because they realize we're running out of time here. We got to start making something happen. And that's where Edmonton is especially dangerous. If you can put heat on them, make them play, make Dallas have to make split-second decisions. You know, we talk about a lot that possession is most sensitive when you first gain the zone because that's where you have to make your decision. You know, is the puck going laterally or is it going forward? Am I skating or am I passing? You got to make that. You got to make that decision in a split-second notice. And when you are playing a team like Edmonton that wants to fly, that wants to open the game up, it's going to be really hard for you. And Dallas has a talented team. You know, I don't think it's that they're getting. I don't think it's that Dallas's players aren't playing that well. I think it's that Edmonton's guys are. The Edmonton's guys have shown up. Now you're getting secondary scoring. You get goals from Nuge. You love to see it when guys like Nuge get in on the mix. You got a Broberg goal, who I'm so happy he's playing. Wish the Rangers would take a page out of the Oilers book and play Zach Jones as opposed to whichever one of their 5 bad defensemen you would like to take out. But I digress. Broberg has to stay in. I don't think you can go back to Desharnais. I don't see a world where that makes sense based on how things have gone in this series when Broberg's played, because he's made Cody Ceci passable, because he's a good skater and he's a good puck handler. And I know Ken Holland has a reputation of letting guys marinate in the AHL for too long, and that Broberg probably should have played more this season, in all honesty, but he's been really good in the 2 games he's played. I hope he stays in. And now we get to the crucial point. The 4th win in any series is the hardest to get. Playing against a desperate team is difficult. That's why these series have the juice, the je ne sais quoi, if you will, to why they are so compelling. You know, I'm getting ready. I'm recording this Saturday morning. I'm getting ready to go watch the Rangers try and stave off elimination tonight, and hopeful they will come out with the desperation of a cornered animal. The Stars are going to come out with the desperation of a cornered animal tomorrow night. They are a really good hockey team. The Oilers are also a really good hockey team. How those two parties interact and intersect, that's going to determine things. I think the Oilers are well situated. I think the Oilers understand what they need to do to make Dallas uncomfortable, to force Dallas into bad decisions. And that's really been the key, hasn't it? When the Oilers have been looking right in this series, it's when they've put Dallas on their heels, forced Dallas to play defense, and worn them down. It's not easy to make a good team wear down. That's why it's so impressive. And I know coming into the series, I had picked the Stars in 7, and largely because of the goaltending matchup and because Dallas is deeper. Edmonton Stars have been so good in this series that they have effectively erased the gap, the depth gap. You know, like if we quantified all of the talent, like, you know, this is the comparison I would use. If you added up all the overalls of all the players in the EA Sports NHL video games, the Oilers guys would have higher numbers because of the overall talent of their higher end guys. I don't know if that's true. I didn't do the math, but you understand what I'm saying here. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Bouchard, Nuge, those guys have been dominant in this series. And because of that, they are on the precipice of going to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in the Connor McDavid era. I don't think it's lost on this group how difficult it's been to get here. There are a lot of guys on this team. You think about the journey Nuge has been on to get to last night. Longest tenured player on the team, picked first overall in the lottery how many times, missed the playoffs how many times, disappointed in the playoffs how many times, but the Oilers are still here. I said it after game number 4, and I believe it now. The Oilers have shown championship resolve. The Oilers have shown they are emphatically one of the best teams in the entire league. They have the talent. Their talent has the ability to meet the moment. Now it is simply a matter of capitalizing on the opportunity in front of them. Not every team gets these moments. This Oilers team is more than capable. They just need to go and do it now. That's not asking a lot. If you're an Oilers fan, you feel pretty good right now. You should think your team is ready to make this happen. They have Dallas on the ropes. Now it's time to put them away. The Oilers are prepared to do it. Now they just got to go out there and take it. That'll do it for this Saturday brief edition of Locked On Oilers. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcasts or over on YouTube. Episode will be out soon as game number 6 is over, regardless of outcome, Sunday night into Monday morning. I will talk to you guys then. Until then, let's go Oilers.